All right, on a Tirade Tuesday, let's start with Victor in Parkville. First up on a Tirade Tuesday. What's your tirade, Victor? Go ahead.
Well, the first thing is, how's my reception? Because I've had issues lately. You know, my tirade is about the jail bond and tax issue up here on the ballot in Platte County up here, and the quote-unquote community leaders that are against it. The commissioners sat a panel of concerned citizens to deal with the issue, get all the information, and listen to the experts. The outcome is questions 1 and 2 that are on the ballot. This has to do with building the new jail, renovating the existing jail, and the operation of the facility for the next 20 years, and takes it completely out of the general fund. Now, the county population has doubled in the last 15 years, over 100,000 people. Most of that's in the last 4 years. The jail existing now is over capacity by at least 30%. We have other counties housing our inmates. You got people sleeping on mattresses on the floor. The only room is for the worst offenders, the violent criminals, and the felons. That means this pervert that's been harassing women up here in the Northland by peeking through their windows and satisfying themselves on their patios is getting a catch and release treatment. That's on the neighborhood thing. Okay? The jail is in such disrepair, we are in fear of higher courts getting involved, possible inmate lawsuits, or the Eighth Amendment cruel and unusual punishment clause in violations. Okay? Google Platte County, Missouri Jail to get more information. It'll take you to the page of the county website, okay? Or you can contact the commissioners. The fact is, we need this jail. It's a good plan. Is it a perfect plan? No, but it's better than anything else on the books. And if we don't act now, the courts will get involved, and then we're really screwed.
Thank you, Victor in Parkville. Got to take care of those peeping toms up there in the Northland. 913-4087-95.7. Shawnee, Jeff, what's your tirade, Jeff? Go.
Best show on the radio. Hey, get out there and vote, man. I've been voting since I'm 18. I'm 60 years old. I just saw a statistic. We had 66% of Americans vote in the last election. So that means when it comes down to, we only have a third of the people in the United States that's deciding what's happening. Get out there and vote, man. Get off your butt. Quit watching The View and Americans Got Talent and Unmasked Singer. Vote, man. Vote.
Attaboy. I love it there, Jeff and Shawnee. You're the man, and you're right. And don't just vote every 4 years on who's running for president because, listen, that naturally is going to get more attention. Look at who's on your city council. Focus on those races. Help out at the grassroots level. Those are the people that are raising your property taxes. You don't know, and I don't mean you, Jeff, or you right now listening. I mean just in general. We don't know all of our city council members. We don't know all of our county commissioners. I mean, I could name, I think, many. Could I name them all? I couldn't do it. I couldn't. And that's a problem for all of us. I'm including myself in that. So nice job, Jeff. 913-408-7957. We'll stay in Shawnee. That's where Steve's at. Steve, go.
Yeah. Hey, Pete, I was just my tirade is basically about voters not using critical thinking when they decide who they want to vote for. I mean, time and time again through the decades, we've seen this thing about emotions. About critical that people don't use critical thinking. They just get into this, I don't know what you want to call it, into this spin and voting for who they vote for. And I really appreciate you talking about PAC money. The one thing about PAC money is once some candidate receives PAC money, he does not do the will of the people or the voters that vote him into office. He does the will of those mega corporations or rich donors that come into the play of everything. It's pretty damn sad. I mean, we lose control. We are not in control of our government because we lack to do critical thinking and voting for these people.
Thank you very much, Stephen Shawnee. Let's go to Mike in KCK. Mike, let it rip on a Tirade Tuesday. Go.
Yeah, Biden is asking that no be presidential immunity for acts they did while he was president. I think he should do a good example, waive his immunity, and accept punishment for failing to live up his oath to protect and defend the people of the United States by allowing up to 20 million people to invade the country. And he could show a good example by, and be accessory after the fact to all the murders and the trafficking and everything like that. So if he's truly committed to what he's doing, I think he should be the first one to go and participate in prosecution of the next president.
All right. Thank you very much there, Mike. Next up on a Tirade Tuesday, we'll go to Kansas City. Scott, let it rip, Scott.
Hey, Pete, love your show. My tirade's dealing with some of the comments that Andrew Bailey made. I mean, if he wants to find the people that are coming here illegally, all he has to do is look east of downtown. One of my subcontractors and I were listening to your segment with him, and he's like, there's over 2,000 people that have come in the last 45 days just into that area. And the churches are being asked to take care of these people. I'd love it if you asked Mayor Murderay on Thursday about that and call him out. That's all I've got.
Do you have yeah, no, that's great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Scott. I will I've got to get some more than just somebody is seeing people who appear to be illegal on the street. So let me do a little digging on that. I didn't want to go back and forth on a Tirade Tuesday because then I'm breaking my own rules for the segment. But thank you for bringing that to our attention. I appreciate it, Scott. 913-408-7957. Olathe, Ed is hanging out. Ed, what's your tirade? Go.
Pete, mine's about the Johnson County Commission wanting control of the sheriff's office. We have all liberal commissioners with the exception of two, and that's Ashcraft and O'Hara. They want to appoint the sheriff instead of taking that office away from we the people to elect. They want control of different areas of the sheriff's office. One is dispatch, which affects 911, and the other is the jail. They want to make those civilian appointments personnel, and there's probably more, but they want control of the sheriff's office, which is going to affect the budget. They'll be cutting the budgets, what's going to affect public safety, and the people need to know that these guys want to take over the sheriff's office.
Ed, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Let's see what happens here. We got that primary, by the way, happening next week between Cal Hayden and Doug Bedford, so that will be interesting. And, yes, we do need to watch this county commission in Johnson County. I've heard some of that. I don't know how serious it is, but certainly it's worth keeping an eye on. Mark in Platte City, go.
Hey, Pete. I just listened to Victor. Usually love his stuff, but unfortunately, I live in Platte City. He lives in Parkville. And having the county take the jail and increase the capacity so they can rent space to other counties to hold their prisoners and ne'er-do-wells is not something I'm interested in. He's not the one who has to deal with the county letting people out and having them wander through their downtown city and wander through their neighborhoods. I've had a guy that came to my house about 2 o'clock in the morning, was out on my back porch drinking my hose, having an episode talking to himself because somebody released him from the jail. So he can keep his new jail proposal or move it to Parkville and spend the money there. We don't need it. We don't want it. Vote no for both taxes.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that. And we will actually get more on some of these local taxes that are going to be on your ballot tomorrow with David Stokes from the Show Me Institute at this time at 8:30 tomorrow on KCMO. And that's one of those ones that we'll definitely bring up since it is a controversial one, as you've heard both sides of that. Coming up, we are going to hear, good job on a Tirade Tuesday. A lot of meat on that bone today, a lot of harder topics, but that's just where the news cycle's at 1 week out from a primary here in this town.